Okay, amazing. So it's great to have you all here today. This will just be a nice way for you to, I guess, get to know everyone that you're going to be spending a lot of time with over the next 12 weeks, and understand in a little bit more detail how we work, and how we kind of expect you to work as well. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a background into us as a training provider, if you don't already know. So one of our biggest differences compared to other training providers is that we are industry led. We are completely immersed within the industry, and we really pride ourselves on keeping our curriculum ahead of the curve. The last thing we ever want to do is teach anyone anything that just isn't relevant anymore. So we're continuously updating our curriculum to match what's actually reflective of the market, and we do so by one, immersing ourselves in the industry, and also partnering with other businesses, other creatives, other people who are in the industry as well. Our core values really run through everything that we do here. So we are fearless. We're not afraid to take those risks and be innovators. One of the reasons we're not accredited but equivalent to a level 3 is so we have the power and ability to change our curriculum to match the market. We're one of the only training providers that has AI on our program. So we really do offer you the knowledge that is with the industry's current. We innovate, we nurture, and we accelerate as well. So we're here to really take your careers to the next level and nurture you through the whole process. You're in very good hands here, and so I guess everyone who works for us as well. So our CEO Amy, she was the former CEO of North Coders. If none of you are familiar with them, they're like one of the biggest boot camps and training providers of coding across I think just the north, but they've done incredibly well. We have Dominic McGregor, who started Social Chain all those years ago, and he now works for Fearless Adventures. They're our sister company, and they're a capital investment business. So he really came up with this idea when he was working for Social Chain, and he realized that all of the graduates coming into the business who have studied marketing for 3 years just had absolutely no idea what they were doing. And he noticed that education really had a gap for practical skills, which is why we focus all of our learning around the practical skills here. We want to give you something that's actually useful to come out with. And our managing director, Rachel, she used to be the MD at Dentsu. If none of you are familiar with that either, they're one of the largest marketing agencies, I think global. They've got offices like all over the world, and they deal with really big partners such as Levi's, McDonald's, all sorts. A little intro into, I guess, how we've done over the last couple of years. So we used to be called Fearless Academy. I think a few of you have followed us since then, and now that we've gone national, you've been able to join. But yeah, we used to just be based in Manchester, and over this time we've had 7 cohorts graduate. I think our 8th cohort graduates next week, and we've done incredibly well, and all of our learners have done so well after. So we've had 82% success in job outcomes, which basically means people securing a role at the end of the course, or if you're a freelancer or small business, that means you've secured a new opportunity at the end. And we've had over 400 learners enrolled, and it's been a massive learning curve, and everything we do gets put back into the business. And just so you guys are aware of where you sit, we had over 600 applicants for a place on this cohort, and I think it's 12% have come out onto this one. So yeah. And an introduction to the wider team. A lot of these guys you probably won't end up meeting. You'll meet Amy on your first week. She'll go over the ground rules and a basic introduction to marketing principles. Lisa, our operations director, she's not just our operations director though, she's our safeguarding lead and also mental health first aider as well. So you'll be introduced to her properly when you do start. Andy, you'll meet him briefly to discuss one file, which I will not open that can of worms right now. We'll discuss that later. Amy, our head of student experience, you'll meet her throughout the week. Nazreen, she has just joined us. You probably won't have much interaction with her either. And here's where everyone's you've probably already met. So me and Jessie, we run admissions. Georgia is one of our tutors and mentors. We have Joe, another tutor and mentor, Tor and Joanna on partnerships. You probably also won't come across Hattie and Emma, but they really keep the wheels turning in the background. So Hattie's our marketing manager, and she works a lot with us on helping us immerse ourselves in the industry. We have Dan and Naya on tutor and mentoring as well. Emily is head of talent, and she's an established recruiter. She's been in the industry for many years now, and she runs a lot of careers week, which again we'll get into a little bit later down the line. But all of these lovely individuals are here to support you along in your journey. So that was a brief introduction to everyone, but we'll get into the main characters in a little while now. Dan's just going to run everyone through what we cover and delve into the curriculum in a little bit more detail.
Perfect. Thanks, Phoebe. Yeah, and apologies for jumping in late, everyone. I was actually with cohort 9, the cohort before you, so things were running a bit too far over. I was far too excited there. Missed my mark. But yeah, cheers for, I guess, running through that so far. One thing I just wanted to highlight before we go into each one of these modules in a little bit more depth is what Phoebe mentioned before around us all being industry-led as a company. So my background, for instance, I've got 6 going on 7 years within marketing. That's been for startups, it's been for large companies, the likes of the Hook Group, massive e-commerce giant. And everyone you're being taught by across these 12 weeks all come from a specialist area within industry. So you know that you are getting taught by people who really know what they're doing, but also people who will be able to introduce you to the right tools, to the right practices and everything that we'll be going over. So in terms of what we'll be doing across these 12 weeks, as you can see here in week 1, this is more an introduction to marketing principles. Here, it's really a week for you guys to get introduced to Basecamp Skills, the systems we learn, the systems we use even, but also the basics of marketing. So here we'll go over some of the key principles. We'll discuss some kind of marketing campaigns from large companies like McDonald's, Adidas, companies like these. But really what we want you to take away from week 1 is just get to know each other, understand and familiarize yourself with Basecamp and how we work. And then we really delve into it from week 2 onwards. So here you can see that the order that we tend to go through is week 1 is marketing principles, then we go on to design. Now, within our design week, we'll teach you about one of the core platforms we use in marketing, which is called Canva. This will end up probably being a platform that you use for the majority of the course. We work on a project, which I'll introduce at the end of this slide / next slide. And in order to produce that project, we do kind of advise that people work on Canva. So if you've not used Canva before, I believe Phoebe, Jesse, you guys sent a bit of a pre-challenge or something like that for Canva, just so you can get used to that system. But week 2 is all around design elements of marketing. Once we've done that, we'll move over into SEO and content. For those who aren't sure what SEO is, this is search engine optimization. This is all around organic ranking. So how can we get ourselves ranked for the keywords that are most important for the industry we're in organically so that we don't have to pay for it? So we'll do a lot of time here. We work with an agency called Dark Horse to kind of deliver on this. And again, that's a real thing, I guess, that we're proud of at Basecamp, is that you aren't just getting taught by individuals. We have teamed up with some of the best agencies across the UK to deliver some of these modules. And Dark Horse, they are a great agency based in Manchester. I believe they might have offices down in London as well. But we work with them. Yeah, you can kind of see on that slide there a few of the agencies that we work with. Now, once we've done our SEO and content session, we'll move over into web design. This is taught by Anita, who works as Fearless Adventures. Fearless Adventures being the parent company to Basecamp Skills. Anita has some incredible background in everything web design, but we will teach you the core principles of how you can have a website that converts and is kind of designated and built the way that you need it to be. We'll move on to week 5, which is PPC, the week that we're actually doing now with the previous cohort. This is all around Google Ads. So whilst we will be wanting to learn best practices that can make us rank organically, we know that a lot of marketing can be a bit of a pay-to-play space, and that's where Google Ads come in. So we will teach you the best tips and tricks for how to get yourself going on Google Ads and what the platform looks like. Then when we get to week 6, we have thrown a lot of information your way. So we kind of take a bit of a breather here. This is where you work really closely with Joanna and Tor. They'll go through a lot of things with your CV. They'll do a few different sessions throughout the day. It's a really fun, engaging session. But the whole point of it, and one of the whole points that we have here at Basecamp, is getting you career ready. So they'll work very closely with you, not just on week 6, but throughout the whole course and following, to make sure that you're in a good position and that you feel confident in terms of going into your next role. And then just to move into, I guess, the final few weeks, week 7, we look at AI and paid social. And Phoebe, sorry, let me just mute there. Phoebe mentioned before introducing AI. Again, something we're really proud of at Basecamp is when something new comes into the industry, we are straight on it. We add it to the module. We want to make sure that you guys are up to date, because that is a key area of marketing. You need to be up to date with what's going on. So we'll teach you all things artificial intelligence and paid. We'll mainly look at Meta. Now, Meta is Facebook and Instagram. They drive a lot of revenue for a lot of companies, but we will touch on TikTok as well. Following that week, we work on the creator economy. So this is all things influencer marketing. And again, this session is taught by one of our industry partners. They're called So Squared. They come in, they do a really great session on that. And then the final few weeks to kind of wrap things up, we look at CRM, affiliate marketing, and business intelligence. And these are done from a variety of people who work at Fearless Adventures. And then just to end things off, we have a lovely graduation session where you all kind of jump in. We talk about a whole range of things from all mentors and our experiences. We usually have a panel session from some incredible guest speakers. We've had some great founders in the past. And it's a really good day, kind of just that we do. And then we kind of wrap things up usually around 1, 2 p.m. For that day. And then just a final thing before I pass over to Joe, one of our mentors as well, to go over this, is when we do that kind of session at the end, when you have lots of kind of guest speakers on this panel, we embed that throughout the course. So this is something like Joe's done an amazing job of, is every week we usually have a guest speaker, and that guest speaker can be a founder, it could be an industry professional. Sometimes it's people who have previously been on the Basecamp course themselves and now are in a good position. But really, we want to showcase you a whole host of people, a whole range of experiences and skills, and we embed that throughout. It's my favorite part, to be honest. It always comes around on the second day of each week. We come in around 2 p.m, 1 p.m, and the guest speaker does an hour session. It's open to a Q&A. I always find that's really good fun. And then I kind of teased it before, but across the 12 weeks, you'll be working on a project. This project will just showcase all the skills that you've learned. And it means that when it comes to graduation, applying for those roles, you have something to show employers, something that you've produced and something that you can be proud of. So that's kind of, I guess, the 12 weeks summarized in a short period of time.
Hi guys, thanks Dan. Hi guys, I'm Joe. Just to remind you, there are 2 Joes in the group. So Joanna is for the careers team, and I'm Joe Alonso. I'm one of the mentors here at Basecamp Skills. Just to give you a quick background about myself as well before I get into this slide. I also worked as a project manager in digital agencies for 4 years, but that was about 3 years ago. After that, I sort of quit my full-time job so I could focus on being a parent. But on the side, I also started my own fashion brand, which is called Sophie Summer, which is actually named after my own daughter, who's 5 years old now. And I sort of learned everything, how to build a business from scratch and start a Shopify store. I had some sort of knowledge about Shopify, but when I joined the Basecamp Skills as well, as a learner myself, during cohort 5, which is around March to July last year, it sort of cemented my knowledge in digital marketing as well, and obviously how to deliver content to and share content with everybody else instead of just literally using them for my own purposes. So as Dan said earlier, we're not really trained to be teachers, but we are practitioners. We know what we're talking about. We can claim that we're experts in digital marketing, maybe not in niche digital marketing areas like PPC or SEO, but for sure you can always come to us for any digital marketing questions that you have. And as it says here, you will be assigned a dedicated mentor throughout the 12 weeks, and then a mentor group who you will be with in the afternoons as well. So how we do the sessions is that we've got the more theory-based in the sessions in the morning. So you'll have tutors teaching the session from 9 to about 12 to 12:30, and then we'll have a lunch break, obviously. And then after that, we're going to get into the more hands-on, like application-based sessions in the afternoon. And you will be doing that together with your co-learners. And also together with your assigned mentor. So at the moment, I think we have 4 mentors at the moment amongst us. So myself, Georgia, Dan, Nayar, who am I missing? Amy, Connie, and who's the other one? Rachel. Right. So you're going to meet us when you start the course. As it says here as well, mentors are accessible through Slack. So you don't have to email us. You can just Slack us. As long as they're within working hours, then we will definitely get back to you. I think one of the USPs or unique selling points of us being mentors is that we are very responsive. And we all know when the feeling when you get ignored, when you leave a message to somebody and you don't get a reply until after a week or something. But we try to be as responsive as we can, because we know how it feels like to not get answers right away, especially if you're still in the learning stage and trying to grasp the, a new space altogether, in this case, digital marketing. And then we also have, we also try to do regular mentor feedback. So as Phoebe said earlier, you're going to be assigned, you're going to be using OneFile as a learning platform. So we try to do, to leave feedback on your learning journals in OneFile, as you upload your tasks every week. At least if you're on the right track, or if you have any points for improvement that we can share with you. Also, we will be your main point of contact if you want to, let's say, you have any questions about careers, if you're looking for a specific job role, if you want to get connected with anybody within our network, so you can reach to us, and then we can sort of get the right person in front of you, essentially, so we can contact partnerships or the careers team or any of our the founders as well in our portfolio companies under Fearless Adventures. Yeah, so we can do that for you as well. And then you get also access to the student toolbox, which is essentially in the OneFile learning platform. So we have put together like a jargon buster sheet and an online toolkit to help you with your learning, obviously. We also, as Dan mentioned earlier, we also help you work and complete your portfolio project. You will essentially choose a brand. You will learn how to come up with a digital marketing strategy for that brand. And then you're able to apply all your learnings and put them all together into a project portfolio that you can then share around and even present to potential employers. If you're a business owner, we also sort of help with ideation as well, and any plans for execution, and especially when it comes to launching and how you will market yourself online and digitally. Yeah, I think that's it from me.
Perfect. So Naya's going to go through the OneFile that we mentioned, and also using Slack as well.
Oh, the beast that is OneFile. Anyway, hi guys. So welcome, and super excited to have you guys on board, and I'm super excited to meet you all when you finally join. So as Phoebe mentioned, there's a couple of systems that we use regularly throughout the course for your communication. These are other than the systems that we introduce throughout the different sessions. So OneFile is basically your single source of truth. This is where you're going to be uploading your tasks. As Joe mentioned, you're going to be signing off your courses. So we're going to assign you the courses that you're going to go through each week, and then you'll be able to go and sign them off on your OneFile. This is also where you're going to get your mentor feedback. So each week, each of your mentor will go in, they'll have a look at the work that you've done, and will basically give you some feedback on it, some comments on there. So that's where you're going to get that. You're also going to find all your resources, any tools that we mention, any of the modules that we mention, anything like that. You'll find that in your resources section. And then also anything that's related to your project. So we'll have a few videos in there, a few examples of previous projects. Those are all in your OneFile. You will get a sign up email soon, just before you start the course. I'd recommend that you don't touch it until we actually go through setting this up, because it can get a little bit difficult. So we just want to make sure that if you guys get it, don't click the email or anything, or sign up or anything like that. Just leave it, and then we should go through it. I think, is it day 1 or 2, one of those days?
Yeah, it's on day 2. So I'll be sending everyone your links to join OneFile on the first day.
Yeah.
Please do not touch it until the second day, please.
Yeah, just ignore the email. It might go into your junk email, so maybe just move it into your main inbox. But other than that, don't click anything, because like I said, we'll go through that with you step by step to set it up. I've just seen a question. Is OneFile within Slack? No, OneFile is a completely different system to Slack. Slack is a different app. So yeah, like I said, you'll get access to OneFile once you're about to start the course. The other platform that we use is obviously Slack. We've already mentioned it. So Slack is like a communication platform where it's kind of like an instant messaging platform. So if you haven't seen it before, that's pretty much what it's like. You've got a little screenshot there. So you can instantly message sort of your tutors. Slack is the main way that we communicate with you, and you can communicate with us, and that's where we add all the links to all the Zooms and everything like that. That's where you can communicate with your mentor as well as your fellow cohort. So whoever's going to be joining with you, they're going to be in a specific channel with you. There's a couple of other channels to be mindful of. So there will be a careers channel that will add you into. So partnerships will add you into that. And that is basically where we share all of the news about if there's any jobs or anything like that. If we've got any jobs with our partners, then we post those in there. We also have a freelancer and business owner channel. So if you're looking to come in and you're looking to freelance, then if we have any freelancing opportunities, that's where we post those. And then you also get put into a mentor group. So you will have a specific mentor, as everybody's mentioned before, and then you'll have a specific group that you're in where you can liaise with the rest of the group that is also under the same mentor. So those are basically the systems that we use going forward. I don't know if there's any questions. I think there's a few questions around that.
Any questions? We'll have time at the end of
okay
to run through. So
I just thought if there's any specific to one file back, but yeah, we'll go through them at the end. But yeah, those are the two systems you'll be using. So that's all for me.
Perfect, thank you. So Joe's going to take over and tell you about all the exciting things we do for careers and partnerships.
Hi everyone. If you hear any squeaking, it's not my bones. Yeah, so I'm in partnerships. There is actually me and a lady called Tor, but Tor's away at the moment, so it's just me today. So yeah, we come in at different points. We mostly come in after week 6, but you will see us throughout in terms of the first 6 weeks with your guest speakers, and we'll be involved in sort of bringing them on and introducing you to them. So that's our introductions essentially. So the second day in your week, we'll have someone come in that's living and breathing, working in some part of marketing. So for example, we've had Dentsu come on, we've had people internal that work with Fearless, we've had people from all across the country that either are freelancers or that work in agencies, loads of different types of people that are working in marketing, that they basically come on and they talk about their experience. So it's a great way for you to make connections. It's a great way for you to meet people who are actually working in the industry. There might be some people that you really resonate with that you can reach out to and continue the conversations with. A lot of our guest speakers are really receptive, and they like to keep chatting with you beyond the call. So again, it's helping with that personal branding. It's helping you get some first-hand advice and knowledge. So yeah, we help with the guest speakers sort of in the first 6 weeks. So that's where you'll see us mostly. After week 6, which is careers week, we kind of deep dive into that. So we've actually redeveloped this quite a bit recently. We are really trying to cater for freelancers, small business owners, as well as people looking for employment. So within that, sorry, there's a dog that literally will not leave me alone. It's a tea time. So we've split it off a little slightly. So we've got some work on portfolios, how to get started as a freelancer, or how to get like your prices and everything ready. So we really try and cater for people who are branching off to do things like that. We also help do CV writing, cover letter writing, and applications, how to search for jobs, how to apply for jobs, how to sort of navigate your way through interviews, if it's virtual, group, in person. So we try and cover everything that's going to help you get ready for when you start applying and getting your interviews coming through. So like Dan said, it's a really nice week because it's very interactive. We get a lot done, that kind of it really sets you up for that graduation week, where you've got your CV ready, you know what you need to do, and you can just go off and do what you need to do. You're not kind of leaving the course thinking, oh my gosh, what do I do now? I've not got my CV ready, I've not got this ready. So we try and cover all that as soon as we can, really, in the course, to give you that confidence. Speaking of confidence as well, we do like an imposter syndrome session. So we really try and help from sort of that mindset point of view, support you, and we have had guest speakers on in the past that come on and do sort of wellness, like a wellness hour with us, where they establish your values and your personal brand and things like that. So we also have a guest speaker panel during that time. So we have about 3 people that come on. We're trying to get people to come on that have been on the course previously, that are now, as been mentioned, that are now doing really well. And then we have people that are freelancers and people who are in agencies that come on and they chat to you. And the people that come on as guest speakers, they know where you're up to in the course. So a lot of the time, the topics that are spoken about cover what you're being taught in that week. So for example, we might have someone on that guest panel speaker that's really big on personal branding, or might be a hiring manager, someone who can give you some real advice on how to get your applications across. So that's sort of what we cover in Careers Week. Now, we do encourage you to be applying for jobs after that, as long as you've got a really good CV and a really good cover letter and you know what to be doing with your applications. We're happy to say go for it, start applying for some roles, interact with me and Tor if you need help. When you graduate, we've touched on sort of the careers channel and the freelancer channel, as Nai's mentioned. So you'll get split off. Once we know exactly what it is that you're doing, whether you're a freelancer or looking for employment, we'll split you off into these Slack channels. So your careers channel is a place where as I say, we post all the jobs that we find, all our hiring partners' jobs we post in there. Now the people that are looking for employment will have access to Team Tailor as well, which is it's an internal jobs board. It's a separate sort of platform. We'll send the links over to you so you can access that. Those jobs that are coming in, but we ask you for you to connect to that platform so you can get it directly into your inbox. So we'll do all the legwork, but we do ask that you stay on Slack, you stay on those channels beyond the course, because that's where you're going to see the most jobs coming through, the most engagement, the most support. A lot of people tend to just sort of drop off Slack after they've left the course, and then it's hard for us to communicate. But if you stay on those Slack channels, you'll have access to all these roles and all this support. What else can I tell you about those channels? Oh yeah, so in those channels we'll post extra guest speaker slots. So obviously there's 2 cohorts that run alongside each other, so we'll keep inviting you to all our guest speakers that are coming on in other cohorts. So you've still got access to come on and listen to those guest speakers. We'll post the links in there as well. We also have Coffee and Careers, which is every Wednesday at 10 a.m. So once you've left the course, you've got access to that. So it's a session that we do online. We keep it slightly different each week. So for example, we've had Eagle Labs come on, who we work with, to help support our freelancers. They've got loads of platforms that you can use to help sort of navigate your way through starting up your own business. So they've been on in the past. We're doing a portfolio workshop in the next couple of weeks. We've had guest speakers come on during that Coffee and Careers that are to talk about being neurodiverse. So we really try and sort of spread our support across the Coffee and Careers as much as we can. We try and cover everyone and maybe what they might need. We do CV recaps and things like that during that time. Okay, CV and interview support. So this is something that we offer. So we do one-to-ones with people. If you have an upcoming interview, we ask that you obviously let us know. You'll have a separate email that you can contact about interviews, but I won't go into that. We'll talk about that when you're actually on the course. But as long as we know that you've got an interview, we can book in for one-to-ones and help you prep for that interview, and it'll be tailored because it'll just be that one-to-one. So we'll actually look into the role that you've got. We'll really tailor it and spend time with you, making sure that you're going into that interview feeling as confident as you can be and as prepared as you can be. We are sort of ahead of the interview. CV writing, as I said, and your cover letter will help. Whether it's a technical or creative role, we really sort of really go ham on the CV and cover letter writing, to be honest. So that's something that we offer. We also do, I've had to make notes because I do waffle quite a bit, so I'll lose track of where I am. That's kind of it, really. Yes, confidence pep talks and establishing goals. So if for the people that are a bit on the fence, not really sure what they want to do, not really sure what kind of roles are right for them, I like to have conversations with people one-to-one, just to help sort of establish what it is that you're looking for and try and guide you and try and figure out a way that we can come to some sort of goal or conclusion with what you're looking for. Yes, that sort of covers a lot of the support that we do. I feel like there's more to say, but that pretty much encapsulates everything that we do. But essentially, you're on this course to find work if you're looking for employment. You're using this course to help find you a job at the end of it. And for the freelancers, we expect that the skills that you've learned on the course are going to help boost your business in some way. But we do need that communication and that compliance almost. So we can guarantee you an interview if you work with us. So absorb everything that you can during the course, learn as much as you can, communicate, ask as many questions as you need to ask, really engage, make sure you're getting the most out of it. And then when it comes to the partnerships team, we're bringing jobs to you, and we tailor the jobs that we look for are based on you as a cohort and the individuals that are in that cohort. So we look at your locations, we have conversations with you, we figure out what it is that you're looking for, and we do our best to help bring companies to you that are hiring these roles. So as long as you're engaging, you're coming to those hiring pitches, you're actively applying for roles, you will get interviews. It's only the ones that don't, or if you were to drop off, or the lack of communication, we just don't know what's going on. That is very rare, because everyone is so brilliant, and we do chat to everyone, so it's very rare that happens. But yeah, we can guarantee an interview as long as you utilize the support and make the most of the course, because you've got us for 6 months after the course as well. So yeah, use me. Yeah, I think that's sort of covered everything that we do on careers. I'm just gonna, is there any questions surrounding careers? Anyone wants to shout anything out?
We'll save all of those till the end. We're nearly done, and everyone can jump in and ask questions freely. We'll stop recording just so you guys aren't asking any questions, and we're recording it if it makes you uncomfortable. But I do have a few bits of advice to go through with everyone really around the course. So I guess as a learner, your commitment should essentially be to yourself. We do ask obviously for the 16 hours of learning with us a week, and we do ask for limited interruption. Obviously, if you do need to miss sessions, that is fine, as long as you take responsibility for yourself and your learning, and you catch up. They're all recorded. The afternoon sessions where we go through the tasks on, again, similar situation to the Q&A. I think it would make people quite uncomfortable if they're going through the tasks and it's all recorded. So the resources for that are available, but the guidance walkthrough from the mentor isn't. However, again, your mentors are on tap through Slack. We have a massive support network that we've worked really hard to build, and Joe's also worked really hard to build, and it's amazing when you use it. So I'd advise everyone utilize the support network as much as possible, taking your own initiative, and also, most importantly, just have fun, make friends, and enjoy the journey. I know it can be really tempting to keep your eye on the end goal, but really you just need to enjoy the journey, get involved as much as possible, and you know what they always say about school, best years of your life, well, you get to relive it again. So make the most of it, and you'll get the most out of your time with us.